Before watching this footage, check the comment section for a pinned comment that has a link to Part 1. Part 1 explains the full story behind the footage you're about to see.
Tired? A little? Okay, alright. Well, I'm Detective Shirley. And you are?
Courtney.
Courtney who?
Kelly.
Kelly. Can you speak up a little bit, honey? I've got trouble hearing, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you already know why you're down here.
I guess for murder.
Alright, well, when they picked you up, you asked them and they told you, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so before I talk with you any further, it's something I want to do, just to let you know this, your Miranda rights. Because we already know, so.
Right. And
So you want to talk? You want to talk to me about what you know, Courtney? I need a yes or no out of your mouth.
yes.
Yes? Speak up for me. Yes? Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead and start. Tell me what you know.
Well, I don't know anything about the murder.
Okay. Well, what do you
And
know?
that's
So,
what I'm.
well, let me put in better words, okay? Explain to me what you know about what happened to the lady. Her name was Gail Spencer. She was 58 years old.
See, I don't even know. I don't even know anything about it. That's
Okay.
why I don't understand.
All right. What was the plan? There was a plan that was hatched. Your name's already been thrown in there, baby, so we already know that, okay?
That's fine.
All right.
No, I understand that, but I don't know anything about the murder. And when I was told about that,
Right.
I didn't believe it. I just laughed and said, no, you did not. You know, I did not believe any of that.
But who told you something? Because you said when you were told. Who told you? You trying to think?
No.
Who told you? Because we already, like I said, we've already talked to you. You're not ratting anybody out, Courtney, so who told you, huh?
Maybe I should just wait. I don't know.
Like I said, we already know, okay? And nobody said that you murdered anyone, just want to let you know, okay? Look at me, Courtney. You understand, huh? Okay? But, you got yourself involved in something you didn't know it was going to go that far. Is that a safe assumption? Right?
Yes.
Right? See, that's where I'm going. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out where you're at in this, okay? So that's why I need you to talk to me, honey. Okay? All right. So tell me, like, how you ended up getting involved with Brett, Tracy, and all this other group, okay?
Just said okay.
Well, you got to be a little more detailed, Court.
I mean, I was asked if I would be willing just to leave everything behind and go
Go where?
wherever.
Wherever. So therefore you had to go and do what?
Get a passport.
Get a passport? Is that what you said? Okay. Did you get one? When did you get it?
I don't remember the exact date.
Okay, all right. But you guys had to get, huh? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't remember when you got.
Well, who asked you? You said they asked me to,
If I would.
if you're willing to go away, if you're willing to leave everything. Who asked you that?
My brother.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you there. Court, I couldn't hear you.
My brother.
What's your brother's name? Talking about Brett?
Brett.
Okay, so Brett asked you.
Yeah.
What do you know about when that was? Was it like a week ago, a week and a half ago? 5 days ago, middle of the week? Just a guesstimate.
A week, maybe.
About a week ago? Okay. And what did he tell you had to do? What was the agreement? How did he approach you? Like, did he just say, hey, you want to go somewhere? And then how did he entice you to say yes?
Well, I mean, it was, at first, I was just like, okay. Because, I mean, I didn't, have anything going for me. I was driven mentally insane from my ex, and...
Well, but you knew there had to be some money. You needed money to get out of town. To leave, right, Courtney? Courtney?
Yeah.
Honey, look at me when I talk to you. Okay. Courtney, so you knew there had to be money?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys knew you had to get some money, right?
I guess, I mean, yeah, I was
and Brett told you, but did Brett tell you there was a way to get some money or something? I don't know, you tell me.
No, I mean, they didn't really talk to me about much. They just really said, here's an offer, if you want to do it, whatever. I didn't believe them. I didn't think it was real.
What didn't you believe?
Yeah, what didn't you believe?
The whole...
The whole what? Just put it out here, right here.
The plan.
The plan. What was the plan? What was the plan, Courtney?
There wasn't really a
It's there, you're holding it back.
a plan, I guess. I mean...
Well, what did they say that they were that was going to happen?
Going, like,
This thing, come on.
getting this money and leaving.
Okay, where were you going to get the money from? You know they told you where they were going to get the money from.
Let me ask you this.
I just don't know if I should get an attorney or not.
Do you know why you're down here?
I just know for murder.
Okay.
But I know.
What do you think would lead us to you? Keep in mind, Tracy and Brett have both been down here today.
Right.
All day.
Right. Well, I didn't know.
And you know where they're at now?
I assume at the police station.
They're in jail.
They're in jail. Okay, so we've already spoken.
What do you think led us to you?
Then,
You think we just knew that? Somebody's got to tell us that.
Yeah.
Right.
They've already put it out there.
Right.
So all we're trying to do, and we got no reason, we have nothing to gain by trying to trick you.
No.
Okay? The warrant's already there for that.
Yeah.
All we're trying to figure out is your involvement in the whole thing. Okay? I know you didn't do what he did.
No.
And that's
Okay.
That's
all we want to know
though?
is your part. Who told you what, how much, what you had to do to get it, and what the plan was. That's all we want to know.
So here's the thing, Courtney, okay? Here's the thing. Now, they've already come down here and told their side of the story, right?
Right.
Okay. Look at me. I want you to make sure that you understand me. They've already come down here and said, and they've already put you in it. They said Courtney, right? Now, here's the deal. You don't know, okay, that how much they said Courtney this and Courtney that and Courtney this and Courtney that. I already had the warrant out for your arrest. I could have said, pick her up, take her straight down to the jail. But I'm not doing that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to afford you the opportunity to come down here and maybe clarify some things that are wrong. Right? Because they can sit here, if I don't have your statement, they can sit right here and say, Courtney did this, and Courtney did that, and Courtney did this, and Courtney did that. As opposed to you come down and say, all right, listen, whoa, okay, hold up. Look, I know what happened. This is how everything went down that I was involved in. Now, I don't know what they did, but this is what my involvement is, okay, and settling it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm affording you that opportunity. All right?
Yeah.
So now you want to tell me everything that you know. And let's get it out here on the table, okay? Now go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm just... the murder, I
know, but I know.
it's still hard to... Like I said, I was come out, asked, and I agreed.
Okay, but you would come and ask about what?
And about if I would if I would give everything up for $1 million.
Okay.
Or if, well, I mean, he said, you know, you don't have anything going for you already or whatever, you know, or you have nothing here to leave, right? Or, you know, and
You're talking about Brett.
right.
Okay.
And, you know, then he had told me about their idea or what they were thinking about doing.
And that was?
Getting the money and leaving.
Getting the money from who?
I really don't know from who.
You just knew they were getting that, and you say they, now you mean who? Who was in they? Brett and Tracy?
Interesting.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know where it was coming from. You know what? You know how they were getting it, or where the money was coming from. I just knew that.
But you knew about a plan. Courtney, you knew about a plan that they were going to have to go over here to this lady's house. You knew about that already.
No, that was threw out there as an idea. There was so many ideas that were thrown out there that they were talking about, and I would always just be sitting there or riding in the back of the car or anything like that, and it was just kind of thrown out there. And
So
there were so many things jokingly and
right. The idea of going over to this lady's house, right, and doing what? What was part of that idea?
To go over there and hold her up. That's all I knew that was going to happen.
And do you know who this lady was?
No.
But you knew it was an employee of where Tracy works?
Yes.
You did know that?
Yeah. She was the manager or something. That's all I know. I don't know what she looks like or nothing.
Right.
I mean, I don't know where she lives. Nothing at all about her.
Mm-hmm. So then what else? I mean, you knew that, or did you know that Friday was when everything was going to take place, right? Just this past Friday, huh?
I knew that, well, yes, that's when, yeah.
Right, you knew it was going to take place Friday.
Right.
Where were you at?
At the house.
Whose house?
Tracy's,
You were at Tracy's house?
yes.
You were there Friday? Right?
What? Friday, did they go? Yes. 'Cause that's when they went bowling, yeah. And I left. I had to get up. Well, Friday, I took her to work and
You took who to work?
Tracy to work. And then I went back to the house. Or no, I didn't even have time to go back to the house because I had to take her friend home. Or, yeah.
What friend home?
Well, just a friend who had stayed overnight, had hung out.
What was that friend's name?
It's no involvement at all.
I'd just like to still know the name. Was it a white guy, black guy?
He was white, but he has no involvement in it. So.
Well, I understand.
Well, as far as I know, but
So what's his name, sweetie?
He helps shake your story out, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And we're not going to go arrest him
Right.
just because he was at Tracy's house.
right.
So who was it?
I just don't want to really involve anybody, who's not involved.
Well,
But I had to give him a ride home, and he lived in Dublin. So I had to go from her work all the way to Dublin, and I went straight to, where did I go after that? I know I went straight back to Macon, go to the bank. No, I had to go to Atlanta.
okay. You went up to Atlanta and got the passport?
Picked him up.
Picked
Yes.
up the passports? Did you pick up everybody's passport?
Yes,
Who all got a passport?
all three.
Okay. You, Tracy, and Brett?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you sure that was Friday and not another day? Because I got information that you guys went Thursday.
Thursday we went and applied for him.
Thursday you went and applied for them. You went and got them
Yes.
Friday.
Right, because there was something wrong with Tracy's and they needed more information. So I had to take more information up there. And Brett was going to go get them, but then they decided that I would.
Okay. Now, what time did you take Tracy to work Friday morning?
Oh, what time was it? Because she was already up. And she took Dominic to school, came back. And it was about maybe 6:37. I'm not a for sure time about that. I'm not.
Did Tracy?
It
Did you
could've
go
been-
anywhere with Tracy and Brett that morning?
No.
Did they left the house before all this other?
Yes, early.
All right. And where were they going?
I have no idea. I just remember.
You knew that? Did you know they were going over to that lady's house then?
No.
But you knew it was going down Friday.
Right, but I didn't know that she was taking them over there. I didn't know any of that.
And taking them as who?
Well, taking him. I mean, and
I already know there was a.
Did
I know,
Dominic to
but
school.
we already know there was another person.
I didn't know he was riding though. I didn't
Who
know
is he?
anything.
Who is this
about
guy?
it. I don't know who he is. I don't know at all. I just know it was.
Can you describe him?
He was black. That's all.
Black guy.
Yeah, that's all I know is he was
But
black.
he rode over with Brett and Tracy. Or he left.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know.
He left with Brett and Tracy that morning.
I'm guessing so. I don't know if he left actually with them or what. I do not know because I know I woke up and no, because she said that she was getting up at 5:30, but they didn't. No, it was 6 o'clock when I woke up. So it was later when me and Tracy left. It was maybe about 8.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a little more sense.
So when did
they
you
woke
woke up
up
at
late.
6?
They woke up late. Yes, I woke up from the alarm going off. And I had seen Brett up. He had came out there in the living room and then he went back to the bedroom. And I fell back asleep and didn't wake back up. And when I did wake back up though, she was back.
She was already back.
Yeah.
She was by herself now, right?
Well, I didn't know that she took them either. I didn't know that she left with them or nothing. When I woke up, I was wondering, and she came inside, and later on, I had asked her. So,
You'd ask her what?
if she had took them, if she had gave them a ride or whatever.
Or
So when you got up and around, they were all three already gone? You don't know if they all left together or not?
Right.
That's what you're
Because
saying.
I didn't actually. Yeah.
Okay.
When I actually
And
woke
she got
up.
back, and you all had a conversation, and you asked her? And how did that come about?
if she took them. I didn't ask her that though
And when you
till
say-
later on in the day.
And then when you say that you asked her, did she take them? You meant, did she take them over to that lady's house for the robbery? Or the holdup, as you say? That's what you meant? I need to clarify that.
If they took them over there, yeah, if she took them over there to the lady's house to hold her up.
Mm-hmm. And what did
I don't know
Tracy
what
tell
you
you?
mean by robbery.
No, well, you're saying hold her up, so that's
She's-
just it's just a term. Okay.
But I don't know what went on over there, only from what, they had told me.
What did they
And
tell
I
you,
didn't,
Courtney? What did they tell you?
that she went to the door, said she was broke down. She went inside, left the door unlocked. They went in. She was in the kitchen doing something. She said the lady had went off to her room to finish getting ready. And they came in and went in the bedroom, shut the door. And she walked out. She left.
Tracy left. And left Brett and this other fella in there.
Yes.
Alright. And then what else?
That was it. And then I was told, because Tracy said, what do you want to, tell her what happened?
Talking to who? Brett?
Yeah.
And then they told you, didn't they, Courtney?
Yeah.
They told you what?
That they murdered her.
That they murdered her, right?
Yeah. And I didn't believe them. I said, yeah, right. I was like, you wouldn't do that. You're kidding and everything. And just laughed at him. And because I thought, I didn't believe that. The whole entire time I thought that, I didn't even think he was over there at the house. I didn't think any of that.
You guys had already
I thought
put-
that I was, that I had been followed by him to Macon and everything and been being watched by my brother. I didn't believe any of that.
Well, whose money do you think you're spending?
I don't know.
But you're sure I'm not spending it? Yeah? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I understand that.
And you guys have been talking about, you say in a joking manner, about going over and holding this lady up.
Right. And I thought it was because of a lot of the things that were said and the stuff that was going on, and then
What a lot of stuff that was said.
just different things.
Well, I need you to elaborate, honey, because I don't know. I wasn't there.
Just like different things for them to do to be able to, for her to be able to transfer the money for her to,
Right.
and
Like,
just so she wouldn't be there at work that day.
and when you say so she wouldn't be there at work, you referring to this lady?
Right.
Did they ever tell you her name?
No.
Okay, but you just knew it was a lady that worked with Tracy.
Right.
Okay.
I think where we're getting a little confused is your term you're using is hold up.
Well, that's what I was
understand.
told. Just hold her, hold her there.
Okay, that's
I gotcha.
different. When we hear the term hold up, we think of robbery.
Right.
Oh no,
See what I'm saying?
just hold her there. Keep her at her house all
So
day.
keep her in her
Okay.
house all day. That's the impression
That's
you were
right.
under.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just a hold up, right? Just
Yeah.
gonna hold her there.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
not
that's
a
good.
robbery or nothing. I don't.
No, it was just supposed to hold her
So
there.
just a kidnapping. That's all it was.
That's all it was gonna be, right?
Just keep her there,
Just gonna hold her there, right?
like she's in prison.
So that you guys had already talked about that.
Well, no, I didn't
That's one of the
really ever
plans you heard.
conversate. Yes, I didn't ever really conversate with them, and that's one thing that started scaring me and worrying me.
But you were there.
Because, not all the time.
No,
though,
not all the time, but you were
and-
there through some of these conversations.
Right. That, yes.
And you partook in these conversations.
No, I just listened.
You just
but
listened.
the first conversation when I was asked if I would do it, and we kind of, talked about it or whatever, and I said, okay, that was it. Other than that, I just heard what was going on and just kind of listened while they were talking about it.
And the only thing that you said was like, look, all right, and correct me if I'm wrong. So you're basically, what you're telling me is that I didn't participate in the conversations about holding the lady up.
No.
But I knew that if you guys hold this lady up, my job over here is going to be to go and get the passport so we can get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, no, I mean, I had to do that either way, no matter
What do you
what they
mean?
were doing. I had to go get the passports.
So,
It didn't matter what they were doing.
I'm not following you.
Like, whatever.
But you were getting the passport so that after this thing went down, then you guys could leave town.
Well,
leave the
not,
country.
no, not after that, no.
What do you mean?
No, I mean, it was just for whenever the money was gotten.
That's what I just said.
Yes.
Once the money was gotten, you knew you had to go get the passports to have them ready so that when the money was gotten, that y'all could leave the country.
Right, but we didn't need them right then or that
The
day.
passport?
or
No, I didn't
anything.
say that.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But I didn't know anything, it was just, the passports was just a part of getting the money and going and out of the United States to live because of the money.
Because of the money.
Right.
But why did you think that you knew? Why did you think you had to leave and go out of the States once y'all got the money?
Because my name and everything, I wouldn't be able to live here.
Because of,
I know, I mean, that's
because of how you guys were going to get the money, right?
Well, I mean, because it was it was a wire transfer,
Right.
and that was it.
And a wire transfer, you knew they'd be able to track. So you knew what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I didn't.
All right, let me explain to you this. You knew that if you guys did this with the money, that y'all were going to have to leave the country because you knew that it was wrong what you were doing. How about
Right.
that? Okay, beautiful. Okay.
I mean,
It's not like you guys were getting some money from a lottery winning to go out of the country. You knew what you were getting was wrong, and you knew.
Right, I mean,
you knew that one of the plans was to go over to, and her name is Gail Spencer, by the way. Okay. All right. Was to go over to Tracy's, the lady that Tracy works with, Gail Spencer, and was to hold her up so that she wouldn't, so y'all could get the money. Is that correct? Because that's what you said here and told us. So that was one of the plans discussed, right?
right.
Okay.
So, okay. So, I'll just start from the beginning and put it all together.
Okay.
Instead of scattered.
Sounds good.
Okay. The plan was, and like I said, I did not believe the whole part of, well, I really didn't believe any of it, but I was going, it just sounded too much for them to, really take part. To go, okay. Supposedly they were going to leave that night or whatever, go over there, scope it out, and go in the morning. Well, over there. And they were just going to knock on the door, I guess, to be let in. Or Tracy said that she goes out and waters her lawn at a certain time in the morning before she leaves, and so they thought maybe they could just walk in then. And so they never left that night, because when I fell asleep they were still there. So, and they were both already asleep, everybody was, and when I fell asleep. So in the morning, like I said, they didn't wake up. She said she was going to be getting up about 5:30. She had some things to do.
Who you referring
That's
to?
what she told her friend, Tracy. That's what she told her friend.
What friend?
The guy who I took home to Dublin. He just stayed. Eric.
Eric?
I think that's his name.
Okay.
So, he was still, he had asked if I would give him a ride home. Okay, let me go back, sorry. Alright, so Tracy and them were already asleep. She said she, but she told me she had to be up at 5:30, do some things. She told me and him that or whatever. And, they didn't wake up at 5:30 because I had woke up to the alarm going off then, and about 6 is when I woke up again to Brett walking around the house, or he had just woke up, and then I fell back asleep. When I woke up again, they were gone, and then Tracy shows up, and I throw on some clothes real fast so we can go, and Eric had asked if I would give him a ride home. She said, I don't know, you'll have to ask Courtney or whatever, because she's taking me to work. Or he had asked her. And so I said yes. When we took Tracy to work, we stopped by McDonald's on the way there. And then on our way back, I took him home. Yeah, I took him straight home, and then I came back to Macon, went to the bank.
We already looked down.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you set up the accounts. Where do you want to go?
No.
So you set up the accounts during the daytime after you took Eric to Dublin, went to the mall, paid off your thing at State Bank, opened your accounts. Pick up from there. How'd the rest of the day go?
I had to go to Atlanta.
Okay, so you opened the accounts first,
Right.
and then you went to Atlanta to get the passports.
Right, but I had to stop by Tracy's, and I had to go back to the apartment first to pick up the envelope with all her information in it, and then head straight. Well, she told me to come by her work, and I went by her work, and I had to go by her work to give her the stuff from the banks, and so all the routing information and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I went by there, and then I headed straight to Atlanta. And when I got to Atlanta, I went up there, got the passports, and I had to wait a little bit just because mine and my brother's were already ready, but they had to process her information and everything.
Did you get pulled over while you were up there?
I did.
You got a ticket?
Yes.
What was the ticket for?
For getting on the HIV
Oh, okay.
on ring
Where did that take place at?
in Atlanta.
Like on So it was on the interstate?
Had to be on the interstate.
Well, I was getting
that
on.
should be like, yeah.
I was getting on to
Midnight,
the
yeah.
interstate though.
So you were getting on to the interstate?
Yeah, and he said I was getting on the HOV.
Who was it that pulled you over?
2 motorcycle guys just on the side.
Okay, Atlanta PD or,
I think maybe, I'm not sure.
where's your ticket at?
In my wallet.
In your wallet? Okay. Alright, anyway, so you went up there to Atlanta, you got the passports, and then what? Keep on going.
Okay, then so I called her to let her know I got them or whatever, because she had told me that I was gonna need to go around some banks there. Oh, BB&T is in Atlanta. I went to BB&T in Atlanta because I had to go. What I did, I remember now. What I did was just open up a savings account first. Yeah, no. Now I'm messing myself up. But BB&T was in Atlanta. That's where I did that because that's where the passport place is. At.
Okay, so you in all likelihood then went to Bank of America first here in Macon.
But I didn't open one up in BB&T. I started to. I never finished.
What do you mean?
Because Tracy called and she had wanted me to go across the street to Bank of America first and withdraw money. And yeah, I didn't go. Yeah, I didn't open an account at BB&T. I started to open an account there. I never finished though. And the lady, her card is in my wallet with her name and everything on it, and it's got some like 3 or 4 numbers written on it that she had wrote on there. Okay, so
You mean like a teller?
I went to, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, at the bank. Okay, so you went to...
I went to SunTrust, not BB&T. I went to SunTrust and opened up a savings account
Where?
in Macon.
Okay.
Before I went to Bank of America.
Alright, so the savings account is at SunTrust.
Right,
And you did that one first.
yes.
It's late, man. Yeah. At SunTrust. Then you went to Bank of America. Is that correct?
Right.
Please, because I'm getting tired
Yes.
of writing this over
Yes,
and over again.
I'm sorry. Yes. And then I went to Bank of America, and that's when she told me I was just gonna have to go back to the house and to the apartment, and back to State Bank and close that out,
Okay, then you went to State.
and then go to Bank of America and get the account. Cause I went to Bank of America twice,
Okay.
so.
Alright, so what happened the first time? So you went to SunTrust. Okay, let's. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember all
I
of it.
understand. The point I'm trying to get at, and that he's trying to get at, is Tracy told you open accounts at Bank of America and SunTrust, or did she say BB&T?
She told me everywhere to go.
BB&T and SunTrust,
Yes,
but you didn't finish for whatever reason at BB&T.
because she had called and she asked me where I was at. I said, well, I'm in BB&T opening an account, a checking account. And she said, well, were you able to get it? And I said, get what? And she said, withdraw the money. And I said, well, I didn't go over there yet. And she said, well, I told you to let me know, it was just right across the street or right there. And I was like, well, do you want me to stop here and go on over there? And she said, yeah. And she said, then you can go back or whatever if you got time. And so I told the lady, I was like, I'm really sorry. I said, I'll be back though. What time do you close? I'll be right back. I said, I just need to run across the street real quick and I'll be right back. And so I went across the street to Bank of America,
And
and
you already had your account open with Bank of America, correct?
yes.
Okay, so go over there.
And I went and told the guy that I needed to withdraw money and
Okay.
everything, and then
How much was that?
10 grand. And
Okay, well, say that one more time.
10 grand, that's what she told me. She told me to try to get.
She told you to get $10,000.
Yes, they told me at least just try to get that.
Okay.
Because that's what they had told me when I opened up the account, that they would have at the bank, that I would be
Right.
able to get out.
The most you could get out.
Right.
Okay.
And so they told me to just get that out.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something off the subject real quick. Okay, Courtney? What did your brother Brett tell you that he did to Gail?
He didn't tell me that.
What did he tell you?
He didn't tell me anything. I mean, that he just told me that they were, because I asked him when he called it, you know, he called to check on me or whatever while I was at the passport place, and I asked him, you know, what
What?
was going on, you know, if he was okay or whatever, and he said yeah, and he said he was fine.
Because he was still over at her house when he called you?
I don't know, you know, I have no proof. I do not know that myself.
He had to told you something that he done. He didn't tell you that he did anything to that lady.
No. That in the vehicle, she is the one who said, you know, about the murder or
She's-
whatever. He never said anything.
He never said anything? What did she say?
That you know,
That
that they murdered her.
is that what she said? Is that how'd she put it?
They murdered her.
They murdered her?
Yeah.
And Brett never said nothing?
She was dead.
Okay. She was dead? Alright, so Brett never said nothing. What did the other dude, the black dude that was in that what did he say?
I never seen him after that.
After what?
He wasn't at the house when I got home from Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
They had already beat me there, and that's why I didn't understand everything.
Who had already beat you there?
Well, Tracy and Brett, I was supposed to pick Tracy up from work.
Okay. So how did she get home?
I don't know.
Did you have her car?
Yes.
You had her car?
Yes.
So she had to have gotten there by somebody else.
Yeah. She said, she sent me a text saying, don't worry, you know, I got a friend picking me up. I'll just see you at the house. Be safe. And I said, okay. And I don't know how my brother got home. I don't, you know, I really don't know any of that. And the guy came over to the house later on that night and and they went straight into the bathroom and was talking and everything. And like I said, it had already seemed weird to me. Everything was already seeming weird because they weren't talking to me. They weren't, I mean, everybody.
But you already knew the lady was dead at this point?
Just from what they had told me, I didn't believe them. I didn't think she was really dead. I didn't.
You already knew that they were going to hold her up was already taking place? And you knew that they had accomplished that mission?
You knew you had
No,
money.
I didn't know that.
But you knew that money was already being put in that account.
No.
When was
No,
it?
I just knew I was going to set up the accounts. I didn't.
No, by the time
when
you
it
got
was-
back, because you just said to me that you went
Yeah,
to Bank of
but-
America to take out $10,000 in Atlanta.
Right, she told me to do that, but they had said it wasn't posted yet, and
So you weren't able to get any money then.
right, and
Okay.
so, but she thought that as soon as she wired it, I could just go and get it straight
So you knew
out.
she had already wired it?
From her telling me to go.
So you knew this had already took place?
The wire. That's it. But, when she said, go.
Well, if you knew the
to
wire,
the Bank
Courtney,
of
if you
America.
knew the wire was taking place, and you already knew all this other stuff was taking place too, sweetheart. Okay?
What do you mean the other
you-
stuff?
No, I go.
No, I mean.
I just got to step out for a minute.
There,
You
okay.
can keep going
I'll
with
give you
it.
yours.
We'll be right back with you.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm
Very
trying
fine.
to be
I
as
understand.
honest and
No,
everything.
we're not saying
I just
we're fine. Okay, we're fine. We'll be back in just a second.
okay.
All right, Keith. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
You prefer to be called Keith or Anthony?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay, Keith. Sit right here. Excuse me. Well, I'm Detective Shirley. Okay. And I don't know if you know why you're down here or not. But before we talk or go any further, I do want to advise you of your rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to consult with an attorney and have an attorney present during question. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be provided to you before questioning at no cost. Do you understand these rights that I've just told you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you wish to speak to us now about why you're here?
I would like to. Actually, I would really like to call my wife to let her know where I'm at.
Okay. Before we do that, you're more than welcome to call your wife, but I'd like to go ahead and start talking about this, and then I'll let you call your wife or whoever you want to, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, like I asked you, I said, do you know why you're down here?
They said something about a murder.
A murder? Do you have any idea what murder they're talking about?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Well, your name has come up in a murder investigation that I've been working about a lady over on Stinsonville Road. Are you familiar?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know Brett? You know Brett?
Yes, I
Brett
know.
Kelly?
I know Brett, yes, I do.
Okay. Now, how do you know Brett Kelly?
I used to work with him at 5-Star Nissan.
5-Star Nissan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Once about April, March, April, May, yeah.
April or May? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna cut any corners with you or anything or sit here. I'm not here to bullshit with you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we've already talked to all of them. Do you know where they're at? Do you know where Brett's at and the other two girls?
The two girls.
Yeah. Do you know where Brett's at? How about that?
No.
Brett's in jail. Brett's in jail for murder. So is the other girl, Tracy. She's in jail for murder.
You know Tracy, right?
You know Tracy.
No, I don't know Tracy.
You don't know Tracy at all.
No,
You've
sir.
never been over to an apartment over on Houston Road.
Yeah, I've been to him, but I've never seen a Tracy.
Okay. Did you see an older, maybe in her 30s, black-haired lady?
No, anytime that me and Brett ever talked, he was always outside.
Always outside?
Yeah. Mostly just sit outside and talk, smoke cigarettes or something.
You know his sister, Courtney?
No.
You don't know Courtney?
I didn't know. We never talked about his family, so I never knew he had a sister.
Okay. Well, they have stated your involvement in this murder, okay? And that you were there with the murder, during the murder of this lady, over this elderly lady or older lady in her late 50s over on Stinsonville Road. Does that ring a bell?
No, sir.
It does not ring a bell.
No, sir.
Because I need you to keep in mind, okay? You've been picked out, all right? You have been picked out of a photo lineup. So keep that in mind. I can put you there, all right? And you're looking at murder and probably later on some other charges. So we've already talked to them. And if you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, all right? But, you know, what they say and putting your involvement in it without us getting your side of the story does not look good for you. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, if I might want to hear your side of the story because you may be able to clear up some things.
Okay.
So, you want to tell me your side of the story, Keith?
That's fine. When did this murder supposed to take place?
Okay. Well, I'd like to hear what you've got to say first.
Well, last time I talked to Brett was probably last week sometime. Came over to his house, smoked a cigarette. He told me he quit his job And I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna try to go back up there and try to get, you know, saying your position because I have experience. So we talked about that. He said that he was leaving the country or something like that. And I was like, well, I wish you the best. No, because like I said, I have a DUI. I just got off of superior probation. I'm on state for DUI, and I just caught another DUI like almost 2 weeks ago now. Mm-hmm. So I have bills I have to pay and fines. Other than that, I've just been probably looking at jobs on the internet and sitting at the house. Mm-hmm. My wife works on base, so you know, with no license, I really can't go nowhere. That's all I really do on a day-to-day basis. When my wife comes home, we talk about our days, what we did. Sometimes we go out to eat. Most of the time we sit at the house and watch movies. Just spend time with each other.
Well, what about this conversation with Brett last week?
He make an offer to you?
I'm sorry?
Did he make an offer to you more or less?
No, he
asked for your help doing anything?
No.
Because keep in mind, whether you wear gloves or not, everybody still leaves DNA behind on the scene, okay?
Okay.
All right, keep that in mind. So, I mean, if you were there, Keith, if you were there.
I know if.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we know, okay, that you were there. I already know that. I can put you in the house and everything else. I put you there at the scene with the woman, with Brett. You know, we already know, and we're going to know more. Like I said, I've given you the opportunity to come here tonight and tell your side of the story. All right? So, I mean, you want to just go on and just...
What'd you get sucked into?
You know?
I'm sorry?
What'd you get pulled into last Friday?
I didn't get pulled in anything. I was at home Friday.
You were at home Friday?
Yes.
All day Friday?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't leave and go anywhere?
I believe me and my wife went somewhere.
Well, it was just...
Probably went out to eat.
Where at?
Friday or Saturday. I know we went to Joe's Crab Shack this past weekend.
When? Saturday, Sunday, Friday? It hasn't been that many days ago, man. You can remember.
Saturday, I want to say.
You went Saturday? What'd you do Friday?
Take us through your day Friday. From the time you got up.
Well, what time did you get up Friday?
Usually it depends on what time I go to sleep. Most times I usually wake up probably...
Not most times. Friday.
Friday. This past one.
It's a couple days ago.
I don't actually look at my watch to see what time.
All right, what time do you think you got up Friday, bro?
Maybe 10:30, 11.
10 o'clock. Okay. What happened after that?
Brush my teeth, straighten up the house, sat at home all day and watch TV.
Okay. Didn't go anywhere. How about if I told you that you spent the night at someone else's house Thursday and you were there at that apartment Friday morning? See, I already know these things, Keith. We already know.
Okay.
Right?
Where I spend the night at then?
Okay. At the apartments. We already know that. I've already got people that put you there, man. I mean, you can come here and you can try and bullshit us. All right? But we've already done talked to all these people. We already know. The only thing you're doing is digging yourself in a deeper hole. You're making it worse on yourself. As opposed to coming here and saying, you know, this is what happened. All right? You know, I got involved in some bad shit that went down. I didn't know it was going to go this far, and things got out of hand. I don't know. You have to tell me. All right? I wasn't there. You and Brett were there. All right? So you may need, and trust me, you probably want to clear up some shit. All right? So now do you want to stop the line and start being honest with us, Keith?
I have no reason to lie.
Okay. Who was at the house with you Friday?
It was me by myself. Nobody stays with us.
Nobody stays with you?
No.
Okay. Now, Who was there Thursday night at your house with you?
Thursday night, nobody was at our house Thursday night.
Just you and your wife?
Just me and my wife.
Okay, Thursday night. Y'all went to bed together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And she's gonna verify that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. What's your wife's name?
Shanice.
See, we've been talking to some people, Keith, and we've got information, all right, and information on you. And why are people saying, and including Brett and the others, that you were there at that apartment on Houston Road, all right, Friday morning, all right, including Thursday night. And then you and Tracy and Brett drove over to this lady's neighborhood. You and Brett got out of the car, and then she walked up to a house where y'all followed her inside. Now, why would they be bringing you in that if you didn't have nothing to do with it?
Honestly, detective, I want to know. You would have to ask them. Me and Brett have we never had any disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
No, we've never argued. Like I said, we didn't talk that often either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we occasionally, you know what I'm saying, I occasionally talked to them to see if they were still hiring at the dealership, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's really all.
And you said the last time you talked to Brett was when?
Last week sometime.
Last week and sometime when?
Maybe like Monday, Tuesday.
Alright. So you're saying you wasn't there?
No, sir, I wasn't there.
Okay. And you're going to stick with that?
Yes, sir.
Alright. And you'd be willing to take a polygraph?
That's no problem.
That's no problem at all, you would?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That you were not there at the crime, and you did not participate in killing this woman?
That's correct.
Okay. And when you talked to Brett, would you talk to him on the phone or in person or what?
I talked to him in person.
Where at?
At the apartment.
At the apartments?
Yes.
Okay. How'd you get over there?
I actually drove.
Okay. Where'd you drive? Sorry. Where'd you drive?
A 2005 Honda.
Is that, whose car is that?
It's my car.
Thought you told me you didn't have a car.
No, I said I don't have a license to drive a car.
Oh, okay. 2005 Honda?
Yes, sir.
What color is it?
It's silver.
Silver? Okay. Well, Keith, why are all these people trying to put you in it, involve you in this, when you weren't involved in it?
I honestly don't know, sir.
Okay.
Like I said, I have enough going on to add on to it with murder.
Right?
I said I have my wife. I have our problems, life's problems to deal with. Like I said, I'm a convicted felon.
What are you convicted felon on?
Commercial burglary.
Okay.
So it's hard enough to me to get a job anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And honestly, with that whole situation, it was young and just influenced by my peers. I mean, I take responsibility. Yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? With the burglaries. And it messed me up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get no job in retail. I don't have any type of construction experience. So the only thing I've done is pretty much with temp services and fast food restaurants. And fortunately, me and my wife was blessed enough to be able to purchase a home. Like I said,
On her income?
On her income. Like I said, she works on base. And it's bad. It kind of looks bad on me that, you know, I'm not able to provide for my household. So I try to get out there and fill out applications and talk to people and socialize with people to get my foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's enough on my plate. Along with our relationship problems, like me and my wife, we've been separated before. We've only been married a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, I'm not trying to do anything to get put away for however long and end up losing my wife.
Well, like I said, Keith, I'm giving you a chance to come down here and talk to you your side of the story, but I mean, we have evidence that you were there. Okay. And
I don't understand. If y'all have evidence, what's the purpose of talking to me?
we've talked to all of them. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, we just don't. You see, you have to understand something, Keith. We just don't go out here and take a warrant out for someone's arrest and then just take them and throw them into the jail. Okay, we're detectives. We investigate things, and even though, you know, I might have your fingerprints at a crime scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that you did it, right? Because you got your fingerprints there, and they're not supposed to be there. Let's say for a commercial burglary, for example, right? Let's say maybe an air conditioning unit was pushed in to gain entry through a window, and your fingerprints on the air conditioning unit, all right? And then I get your fingerprints inside this business all over it. You may have even cut yourself, and I get your blood. So I can prove all this in a court of law by physical evidence. But when I bring you down here, I still afford you the opportunity to tell me what happened, okay? And that way, when I go to court, when I talk to the DAs, I can sit here and say, well, you know, he did do it, but then, you know, Keith came in and he's like, look, you know, I didn't want to do it, this, that, and the other. I feel bad for what I've done. I'm not saying you do. I don't know. Look, I've had a long drug problem, and I just let the drugs get the best of me. And you know, I needed money, so I felt like there was no other way. But you know, I didn't want to do it, but I broke into this business and I stole some items to take them to go pawn. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now, how do you think that looks? Okay, on someone when it goes to court, as opposed to when they say, well, Detective Shirley, when you brought Keith down, you know, how'd he act? He sat right there and he denied everything, and he said he didn't know nothing about it. And then they're like, oh, so he's one of those. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he must not really care. He must be just cold-blooded, don't give a damn about nothing or nobody but himself. And the jury hears that, and they're like, shit. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, well, you know, he done wrong, but he is showing some remorse for it. I mean, you get what I'm saying, Keith?
Yes, sir, I understand.
You know, I mean, that's why you come down here and, you know, we give you the opportunity, put it on the table. But you may have a co-defendant that's with you, right? And then I bring him and I put him in that same chair, and he says, yeah, look, you know, we went in and robbed the place. We went into the store down here on Mercer and we robbed the place. I thought it was just going to be a robbery, but you know, I didn't have nothing to do with, you know, shooting the guy, right? You know, that was old boy over here. I didn't know he was going to shoot him.
But you're still guilty. Either way.
Yeah, but you have to understand something. Now you're still guilty, right? But what you may partook into the robbery, but you may not be actually the trigger puller. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what?
But you're still an accessory though, because
you're still an accessory. But then I bring you down here and say, look, you know, homeboys done said all this about you, this, that, and the other, and you sit there and go, no. You know, I'm not the one that shot the guy. He's the one that shot the guy. You see what I'm saying? So then, you know, we got to hash it out. You know, we try to afford people the opportunity, you know, because some people come here, they sit in that same chair and they say, yeah, I was there, but they try to put all this other stuff on the other person. That the other person did this and the other person did that and the other person did this. I was there, but I didn't partake in none of that other stuff. I'm admitting my guilt here, but I didn't do none of this other. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right, and that's why you're here. I was trying to figure out, you know, maybe you could shed some light on some stuff. Make sure ain't somebody throwing all the blame on Keith. Okay? Now, you know, you can still sit here if you want to, Keith, and say, I don't know nothing about it. All right? I don't know what you're talking about. That's fine and dandy. And you get up and you go down to the LEC. And then when I tell the law enforcement center, the jail, okay? Then when I get with the district attorney's office and they'll prosecute the case, I'm gonna say, yeah, we got all this and we got this, that, and the other. Well, what did Keith say? Shit. Keith sat right there in that chair and was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? And they gonna, because this was not just a robbery. This was not just a shooting. This was a heinous crime. This is where someone lost their life, and it was very bad. Okay, it was a 58-year-old woman. All right, that did nothing but work every day of her life. That had kids. Okay, a son. And had 2 small grandchildren. Left behind a sister that loved her very much, and some neighbors that she was very close to and loved her. All right, that's what happened there, and it was not fair what happened. So, I mean, you want to sit here and play that role, brother? You go right ahead, my man. Good luck to you.
Are we allowed to smoke in here?
No, sir. No, sir. You can't smoke in the building. I'll give you a few more minutes, huh?
When will I be able to call my wife?
When will you be able to call your wife?
Yes, sir.
I'll let you know.
All right.
All right, bro. All right, check this out. Talk to Shanice, okay? She didn't see you Friday morning, bro. All right? Let me show you something else. Who's this person right here?
That's me.
That's you. That's a photo lineup, all right? Circle you picked out. Not only that, I got you on video at the banks with them. I'm just letting you know that now, okay? You want a cigarette? Fair enough, Keith.
Fair enough.
Okay. You want to continue on?
That's fine.
Okay. All right.
So let's go back to the conversation between you and Brett.
Okay.
You said you didn't give an answer right away.
That's correct.
Okay, so where did it go from there?
Mind if I start from the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Please.
All right. I called Brett, and I'm asking him about what kind of jobs, I'm saying, do you know any place that's hiring, or if dealership is hiring. And he's like, well, I don't know. But he's like, but I just quit my job, so they might have a position open. So I was like, okay, I don't have nothing, so I used to work there, maybe they'll give me another shot. Put me in a different department. And he was like, all right, man, well, I'll call you back. So he calls me back, probably like maybe a few hours later, and he asked me to come meet with him. And I was like, I don't have no license or anything like that, and why can't you just tell me over the phone? He's like, no, you gotta hear this in person. I don't want to talk about it over the phone. So I drive to Macon, to the apartment. And I knock on the door. He steps out. We start talking. He's like, I got a job for you. And I was like, what kind of job are you talking about? He's like, I need you to come with me so we can just pretty much just watch this lady. And I was like, okay, what are we watching her for? He's like, just don't worry about it. There's a whole lot more behind this, a lot to explain. He's like, I just need you to sit there and watch me. I'll pay you $5,000 and you just walk away from it all. I was like, I don't know. It don't sound right. I think there's more to it that you're not telling me. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, that's all I can tell you right now. And I was like, okay, well, I have to think about it. My wife doesn't condone stuff, and my wife doesn't have a record.
I can sound. She sounds like it. Yeah, I mean, she sounds like she's a nice person. Okay.
And so I don't tell her about it.
I understand.
So then I was like I said, I told him I'll get back to him about it. I never called him back. He calls me Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. He calls me Saturday, asked me to meet him at his apartment. So I'm like, alright, I'll be there in a little bit. So I go to his apartment, ask him what's up. He's like, I need you to do me a favor. And I was like, what? What's up? He's like, I need you to open an account. And I was like, for what? I already have, you know what I'm saying? I have 2 accounts already. And he's like, just open the account. I'll put $5,000 in for you. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's it. I was like, so you just want me to open the account so you can put $5,000 in there? And I was like, I haven't even done anything. Why are you just going to give me $5,000? And so he's like, he tells me that he's like, no, we're transferring money. And I was like, what kind of money are you talking about? He's like, we're talking about a lot of fucking money. And I'm like, how much is a lot of money? He's like, I think he said like 800 something thousand. And I was like, I don't know how you're gonna do that without nobody noticing. Cause as far as I know about banks, I know if you transfer like more than $10,000, a flag goes up, something like that. So I've heard.
They have a tendency of looking at, you know, a large amount of money, like 800 grand. Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, I told him, I was like, if you talking about putting money like that in my account, they're gonna ask questions. It's gonna raise suspicion. And I told him, I was like, I'm not trying to attract no type of attention to me. I said, I just caught a DUI, so there's no telling what's gonna happen when I go see my probation this Friday. So I told him, I was like, I can't do it. He was like,
Why were you at the bank?
While I was at the bank,
Yeah.
he asked me to meet him. He was like,
Was that where y'all met? Which
Yeah.
bank was that?
Bank of America. Bank of America. And he was with some girl. She was driving.
What she look like?
Kind of pale. Then she has a tattoo on her left arm. And she was driving, and like I said, the whole time that I was trying to ask him, like, what's all this, you know what I'm saying, where's all the account coming? He's like, you know what I'm saying, just follow me, you know what I'm saying, I'll explain to you when we get to the bank. Before, you know, I made the decision of where I want to do or not. And after I told him I couldn't do it, he was like, all right, don't tell nobody. And I was like, all right, that's cool, I got you. Until now, where murder is being thrown in my face.
It's not being thrown in your face, Keith. I told you I've got people that are putting you there. Okay? Now, why?
Leaving out a big part of the story.
Yeah, Keith. You're bouncing all around, man.
We can see it, all right? We do this every day,
Yeah.
okay? It's in there, and you don't want to tell it, all right? We know you went with him to the house. That is a fact. That's not a guess. It's not a theory. It's a fact. Now, you had no idea how far this shit was going to go, did you? No, none whatsoever. Right?
If you're saying that I had no idea how far I was going to go, as in for me being there, then no, I cannot tell you that.
Keith,
We got witnesses.
that's not even debatable.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't just sign a murder warrant on somebody without having evidence against them.
I mean,
Okay.
you actually can arrest somebody
No.
for
No, bro.
a signed statement.
You have to have a signed statement.
We got way more than a signed statement.
Yes. Let me tell you, that neighborhood over there, there's houses. Keep this in mind. There are houses all up and down. All right? All over the place. People are up in the morning times, getting ready for work, everything else.
You're trying to negotiate your way out of being at the crime scene, but you can't do that. We know you were there. How much involvement you had is what we're asking you. What happened inside that house that day? How did it go down?
I had no involvement except for what I've told you already.
You want to look like a monster in court, don't you? Because that's what you're going to look like. You're going to look like a monster in court. You're going to look like a monster in court. That is what you're going to look like, Keith. Because the way you're sitting here right now, it shows no emotion. I don't feel sorry for what I've done. Now, what do you think a jury? Look at me, man. When a jury looks at you, and what do you think they're going to think? Okay? Showed no emotion whatsoever about the death of the woman. None whatsoever. A 58-year-old grandmother. None. Cold-hearted fucking psychopath that killed her. That's what they're going to think. I see it every day. Are you? I'll accept that. Tell me, say, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about her being dead or anything like that. I'm going with that. I'll get up and I'll walk out of here all day. Is that you or not? I don't know you. Tell me.
No, I'm not that person.
All right. Well, then you need to start explaining some shit, man. Okay? Because right now this is what you're looking like. You're looking like a cold-blooded killer that don't give a damn.
Detectives. What's your name?
Detective Shirley.
Shirley?
Carmichael.
Carmichael. Detective Shirley. Detective Carmichael. My heart goes out to this elderly lady's family. But I can't sit here and argue with something that I wasn't involved in. The most involvement I had was with the accounts, in which I already denied him that. I guess he figured because he told me part of it, they might as well throw me in the mix. I don't know what their intentions was. I don't know what they're thinking. I just know what I've done, and that was stay at home and stay with my wife.
You were not there in that house.
No, sir, I wasn't.
At all.
At all.
So your DNA, right,
My DNA.
will not be there.
No, sir.
None whatsoever. And keep in mind, I don't give a damn if you had gloves on or not.
Okay.
Alright? But it's not going to be there.
Yes, sir.
Alright. You want to take that route, man. You want to go down. Everybody else came in here.
Oh, they tried to do the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Tried to minimize their involvement. That's all you're doing. And if that's a way of making yourself feel better about it, I don't know.
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
You saw what Brett did?
You saw it.
So what?
You saw it. You know. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to explain it. Man, you were there. You know.
I don't know, so I do need you to explain it.
No.
Detective Shirley.
We've already went over this. You know what you done. I don't have to explain it to you, man. You were there. Cold-blooded. That's what the jury's gonna say. Cold-blooded killer.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing alright.
Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm talking to my wife.
Yeah. Can you get off the phone just for a second to let her know you'll call her right back?
Alright, I'm gonna call you back, baby. Alright.
I'm Sergeant Chapman. The only reason why I'm in here right now, they came to me and reported that they had spoke with you and that you're maintaining that you weren't even there, okay? I asked for the opportunity to come in and talk to you. You know, it's their case. You know, they had to report certain things to me. I don't know. Me, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things they regret, okay? It's important to me that everybody has an opportunity to tell their side of the story, okay? Only way I sleep good and I feel good is to make sure you understand that this is an opportunity for you to explain it. Okay? And when we're done talking, I can feel good, like I'm convinced you understand. Either you're going to leave it this way or put it that way. What I want you to understand is this is very serious, okay? They've explained to you that a woman was killed, correct? Let me let you in on a little secret. I'm not here to lie to you. You may not like the things that I tell you, but when I walk out, you won't be able to say that Joker was running game, okay? We may not be friends when this conversation's over. It is what it is, okay? But what you're not going to say is chatting a lie to me, okay? Our jobs are important to us. You understand? We feed our families on our jobs. And we feel like we can truly make a difference out here. You know what I'm saying? But back to, this is how we feed our families. Okay? You understand that officers are held to a higher standard than even general public. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Somebody makes a mistake at Frito-Lay, or Georgia Power, they may get rode up. Worst case scenario, they may get fired and look for another job. Officers make certain mistakes. They go to jail. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, when we sign a warrant for somebody's arrest, it means that we can show and document, and we feel confident that we can prove in a court of law that you committed that crime. You know, a lot of people come in here with this mindset that, oh, I'm not going to say nothing because we don't know what, they may not know nothing. Sir, we didn't come to your house today and ask for you to come, did we?
Well, y'all kind of did ask me, then made me. So.
Okay. Were you handcuffed?
Yes, sir.
Were you arrested?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you advised that you had a warrant for your arrest?
After they came to my house. Yes.
Okay. So before they brought you into this room, you were told you had a warrant for your arrest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they told you that warrant was for murder, right?
Yes, sir.
So understand this. Nobody needs you to say anything. You're missing the opportunity here. If we've already signed a warrant, that means we can prove our case. We're not asking you, sir, to help us build a case. Our case is already made. I'm only having this talk with you because this is a very serious crime. You're not dumb to the fact. Murder is a strong sentence, okay? It is what it is, you know. You watch NCIS and stuff like that at home, right? Law and Order, okay? I mean, it's very serious. But I like to give everybody an opportunity because, let me explain to you what we do as officers. But if we don't decide your fate in this case, we're merely secretaries that type this shit down and give it to the people that do. Okay? It's a district attorney's office, a judge, and a jury that's going to decide your fate. Now, when they're looking, after we're done with everything, sir, we're going to type it up. And our case is going to show. We can prove that a woman was killed. That a woman was sexually assaulted before she was killed. And guess what she wasn't? She wasn't there to buy dope or to kill nobody when she got killed. This ain't a drug deal gone bad. This ain't a gang versus gang. This is a 58-year-old woman in her home getting ready to go to work. And we can prove that you and Brett were there with her for several hours. And we can prove that she was sexually assaulted and that she was murdered. I don't need you to say nothing, sir. I can prove every bit of that right now. Even if we can prove it, like I said, we're secretaries. It's not right to document one person's half of the story without giving the other person the same opportunity. You understand?
Yes,
Okay, because Brett sat in your chair like this, acting stupid and hard, and then he was laying on the floor crying and praying to God, talking about the things that y'all did to that woman. You understand? No matter how much I don't like Brett, I'm going to have to document that he felt bad about what he did. He cried. Anything I hold out, I stand to get in trouble for. It's criminal. If I withhold information, it's criminal. So I'm going to have to document on his behalf that he felt bad about what he had done. Okay? And the people that decide his fate in this case, okay, is he the kind of person that doesn't give a shit about what he's done? Is he the kind of person that doesn't care? That's a person, if I was in those shoes and I was looking at that, man, I'm scared of that guy. Do you want the people that decide your fate in this case to be scared of you? No, you don't. And let me explain to you about that, okay? I don't believe that you did. See, there's certain things that I know about Brett and talking to his friends and talking to his own family. I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain. I truly believe that this was about money. And those detectives explained to me that you were honest about that part. That you did agree to open an account for Brett, correct? I don't believe that you meant for that fool to do the things that he did. But let me explain something to you. If me and you are riding down the road in a car and we're like this, sir. You're driving. I say, pull up over here at this bank. And you say, hey, Scott, you got to get some money? Yeah, I got to get some money real quick. Right? If I go in that bank and I rob that son of a bitch and I come running back out and I jump in your fucking car and say, go. You say, Scott, what the fuck are you doing? Go, go! And you haul ass. Right? Well, what's every bank got around? Of course, there's cameras and everything. You know, they're going to have your tag, they're going to have all that shit. And what have I just done? I done got you in a world of fucking shit. When the police show up at your door, sir, we have an arrest for you for bank robbery. You drove the getaway car. Do you want to be dumb enough to tell the police, sir, I wasn't even there. I was on a beach in Savannah somewhere? Or would you be smart to say, look, man, yeah, I was there, but I didn't know that motherfucker was going to rob that fucking bank. Because you know what? If I can prove that you were there when that bank got robbed, if I can prove that you were sitting there, outdoor, I got your fucking picture sitting there in front of the bank. If I can prove you were there, and then you tell me I was in Savannah, well then I can only assume that you were a part of that fucking robbery, that you knew he was going to rob, or otherwise why would you fucking lie about it? I've already explained to you, so I don't need you to say nothing, because I already know you were where a woman was killed. Now, Brett came in here and he talked about the different things. How he put the pillow over her fucking head and it didn't work. He told everything. You understand? See, I'm not going to tell you everything I know. Do you want to make it look like you and Brett decided to do that on y'all's own or on his own? Huh? Tell me, man. It's all right. Let it out, man. Come in. Let it out, buddy. I know this is hard, man. You got a wife at home, man. But man, trust me when I tell you, you got to start thinking about family. You got to think about your wife. You got to think, man, you don't want your wife to even think some shit like that, dude. You don't want your wife's family to look at her and go, what the fuck kind of monster is he? You don't want your own family to think. If it was about money and you going through hard times and you were doing this to give your wife a better life because you needed the money, then buddy, you better start explaining that. You understand? Tell me, man. God, tell me. Let me go out here and tell them guys that, man, he ain't that monster. Let me tell them, man. I done told you I don't need you to say nothing. You think you the first one we got? didn't even know who you were until we got them arrested and they told us who you were. You think the white woman that you killed knew who you were? Do you think her neighbors knew who you were? Fuck no. You understand? They told us who you were. We knew that a black male was there. And we can prove that. Now we can prove that you were the black male that was there. Through a number of different things. And I believe, what all those I'm about to be done with it, man. Because I've given you I'm starting to look at you like you some kind of monster.
Baby. Don't worry about it. I have to be a man and stand up for what I did. They had the cameras of me riding in on the bike and leaving, and I'm pretty sure they got everything else. Alright, I have to tell them the truth. Huh? Baby, they can hear our phone calls. Alright. They can hear me talking. They can hear what you're saying. Baby, this phone is tapped. It's the police. It's the detective phone. It's the detective's phone. Like they're not going to listen to everything that we're saying. Alright. I fucked up. Because I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the man in the house. I wanted to try to get us to, you know what I'm saying, get us where we wanted to be. But I went about it the wrong way. And I don't want to mess up your life. I gotta be straight up.
Where do you go from here?
Huh?
Like, where do you go from here?
Where do I go or where do we go?
We.
Shanice, if you want to hold it down and still be married to me, then I know that you're down. You know what I'm saying? I know you're there for me no matter what. But if you want to move on with your life, I can understand that too.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, baby. I can tell you now, they're not going to give me a slap on the wrist. I know. I messed up. And I'm sorry that I put you through this.
All I can say is I don't know nothing, so I can't justify anything. Thank you.
Say what?
Love you.
I love you too, baby.
Just what do you want me to do?
No, I want you to hold it down for us. You know what I'm saying? I want to still be your husband. But I understand if that's not possible because of what I did and what I put you through.
talk to you later. I think I got some
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit, baby. I love you too.
You know what, brother? I'll be honest with you, I sure don't. If I did, I sure would give it to you. I know these are probably
Van
right.
smokes menthols, but he's not even here right
No, he's
now.
not.
There's nobody here that smoke menthol?
Just Van. He'll be back in a minute. I
If you want another one, I can give you another and you can break the filter off. How about that?
I need something with menthol.
Oh,
Something with-
I'd get it for you, man, but we don't have nobody down here.
All right.
Okay.
Y'all not gonna interrupt me, are y'all?
We'll let you talk.
Just from the
After
beginning.
you're done, at some point, I'd like an opportunity to ask you
Yeah.
some questions.
All thing I want to tell you, Keith, is I just need you to start from the extreme very beginning, and then let's go all the way through this thing, okay?
And remember, this is your opportunity to take your side.
Right.
It's not fair for us to have Tracy's and his side, not yours.
Ready? Go ahead and start, brother.
Brett called me. He said that he had a job for us. I said, what kind of job? He's like, how much? No. He said that we have to sit and watch this lady. He's like, I'll pay you. And, you know, I'll pay you, and after that, I'm leaving the country. And I was like, what is it that you're doing that's so bad that you have to leave the country? So, that's pretty much all he told me at that point in time. I can't tell you exactly when he called me. I don't remember. The most I can tell you is that it was probably like a week prior. I finally meet up with Brett. Brett asked me, how much do you want? I said, well, if you're just gonna sit there and watch a lady, I want $5,000. That's all we're gonna do is just sit there and watch her. And he was like, all right, done. But he still wasn't.
I apologize. Sorry.
I was like, all right, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? 5,000. And then a couple days went by. I just kept sitting there and I pondered on it. I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this unless you tell me everything that's going on. Like, what is it that's so bad that you have to leave the country? He says, Tracy works for some bank or some shit like that where they transfer money. I was like, okay. He's like, what she's gonna do is she's gonna pretty much like take money and transfer to different accounts. And I was like, okay, how much are you getting? He's like, well, how much do you think I'm getting? 50,000. Higher. 100,000. Higher. 300,000. Higher. I was like, shit, fuck it, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, try $1.2 million. And I'm like, okay, if you're talking about doing that, then I want it to be split evenly, since all of us are playing a part in it.
Fair enough.
So We meet up. You know what I'm saying? He tells me what we're gonna do. He's like, there's no way it's gonna fail. If we do exactly what we're supposed to, there's no way. There's no way that it's gonna fail.
We're here with you, Keith. Alright?
I'm not here. Y'all get to go home to y'all families.
I know, buddy. I told you this was tough. I knew it, man. I knew you weren't like them, man.
You gotta get it off your chest, buddy. Okay?
I didn't just do this for me.
I know.
That's what we want to hear. We want to understand. And that's why I wanted you to give you the opportunity, buddy, to tell why, you know?
Like I said, it's just so hard to get a job. I don't have the money. We don't have the money to move. I was gonna take the money. I was gonna go to the Philippines. 300-something thousand in the Philippines is like millions.
Right?
I could start over.
That's right. That's right.
I could get my son back.
I know you had reasons, okay?
I get to Brett's house Thursday night. I stayed there all night. We're up all night. Do a break, get some sleep. And leave Friday morning. At first we couldn't find the house. And then we found it. We didn't know how to get in because they have a driveway. So we parked around the corner from my house. Tracy said she was gonna go up there, make sure that she's home, tell her that she broke down or she was in the neighborhood or some shit, to get her let in the house. Then she was gonna text us and let us know when the door was open. We went in. We went in. I went down the hallway to make sure nobody else was there. Gave Brett the go ahead. Brett went in there, he grabbed her. And, you know what I'm saying, he put a gun to her face. He told her not to say anything, don't scream or nothing. Then Tracy walked out. I've never done this before. Brett knew everything. He got duct tape. He tied her up. She was so scared. She was shaking so bad. I thought she was gonna die from a heart attack or a stroke or something. And she was like, what do y'all want? You know, I don't have much. I'll give you what y'all want. I was behind her. I just kept rubbing her shoulders like, I'm sorry, this had to be you. just kept saying, please don't let him kill me. And I was like, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try. Brett didn't say anything about killing anybody. Nobody said anything about killing anybody.
Alright, so Tracy was telling the truth then.
Okay. So we just, you know what I'm saying? I untied her. Because she was just sitting there and she was shaking. I untied her and I was like, she's not gonna go nowhere, you got a gun. Hell, you already scared her half to death already. I untied her. I knew she was in shock because she was just shaking. She was just staring off in the distance. And I was like, I had got her some water. It's like, here, you know what I'm saying, just drink the water. You know what I'm saying, just breathe, try to calm down. You know what I'm saying, it'll all be over soon. Like I said, we was waiting for Tracy to transfer all the money out. And so I'm walking back and forth, you know what I'm saying, from the windows, making sure nobody comes. And Brett comes to me, he's like, bro, don't come in the room. And I was like, why? He's like, just don't come in the room, just give me like 5 minutes. I was like, okay. And then about 5, maybe 10 minutes go by. He comes back out. He's like, alright, it's cool. And I see her coming out the bathroom and she's shaking worse than when we got there. And I was like, are you alright? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And she's just drinking her water. And I was like, what happened? She's like, nothing. And so Brett would get a phone call. And you know what I'm saying, he'll turn on the water in the bathroom. And then he'll go into the other room and he'll talk. And then, you know, I'll watch her and then I'll walk back there. I'm like, what's going on? And he's talking to someone. He's like, I might have to kill her. And I'm like, kill who? For what? And he's like, bro, I made her suck my dick. And I was like, why would you do something that stupid? I'm like, I'm like, either way it goes, we're fucked. Because if we leave and she calls the police, he's like, can we trust you not to say anything after we leave? She's like, no, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll sit here however long you want me to. And I won't move. And he goes in the bathroom, he's looking for something, and he goes in the kitchen. And he starts spraying Clorox everywhere. Then he calls somebody. He's like, the bitch is dead. And it's probably like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna get out of here? I'm not trying to be in here all day with a dead lady in the back room. So he's like, we had to drive her car. I was like, I'm not driving the car. I was like, we probably in an all-white neighborhood, and these people know her. What would it look like a black person in her car? So he gets in the car. And he's like, he's looking for the garage clicker. The garage clicker doesn't work, so I open the garage door. He pulls out. I close the garage door and I go out the front door.
But I just want to tell you, I know that was hard. Okay, and you told us a lot of what we already knew. You were able to answer questions for us. None of us wanted to look at you like you were the kind of person that went over there with the intent of killing some innocent woman. But let me tell you, if you would have left it like it was,
It looked that way.
how bad would that have looked? You see what I'm saying? I came in here because I wanted you to know how this was your opportunity to tell it, and now you told it. Don't feel like what I want you to understand is I was very truthful when I told you we could prove you were there. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want you to carry the weight of the shoulders of what people were going to think that you did, that you may not have been a part of. You understand? You just, and what I mean by that was that it wasn't your intentions when you got there. Okay? I appreciate your honesty. Alright? But you do understand you made some pretty serious statements there. You know what I'm saying?